Welcome to Great Day Houston. Okay, this is the time of year a very special migration takes place across the country. What am I talking about? College students moving out of their parents' house and onto campus. Your worries went from will my child get into college to will they be safe at college? For the most part, the answer is yes, but our first guest want to be sure your children understand the risk and how to mitigate the circumstances. Although you may have taught them well, can you trust them? And can you trust those around them? Joining us with a different kind of higher education that could save a life, please welcome Rania Mankarius, the CEO of Crime Stoppers Houston, and the Chief of Police at Texas Southern University, Mary Young. Good morning. All right. There are all kinds of things that happen at this point. Kids are obviously excited, but a lot of them are out of town. You have kids coming from small towns where they could trust everybody, even big cities where they're in their neighborhoods, they felt like they could trust everybody. It's a brave new world now, isn't it, on campus?
Yes, it is.
And in situations like even Texas Southern University, it's not like a university off in some small town. You're in the middle of a big city.
The fourth largest city, Deborah.
Yeah.
So the fourth largest city in Houston, and you know, it's a unique way at Texas Southern University as far as safety, campus safety, so to speak. I know parents are excited that their babies are leaving home, and we're excited that they're coming. But there are some tips that we try and share with them every single day.
Yeah.
All right. It's just interesting.
Yeah. The new atmosphere is one of those things that's kind of interesting.
You know, it is wonderful. It's a wonderful time for kids. It's, you know, we talk about their growing rate of independence they get through middle school and high school. But once they're in college, they're really on their own. They're driving, they're flying, there's nobody monitoring whether they go or come to class. They're sleeping in these dorms or apartments. They're joining sororities or fraternities.
Right.
So we've got to talk to the kids, not about just the rules of the school, but the rules of how they will behave and respond to certain things that they're going to really see, not just see, but be thrust into.
And you hope you taught them well. I remember my mom was so against me moving into a dorm because she said there are boys there.
Yeah.
And so she goes, you're getting your own apartment. Okay, Mom. Right. And then, you know, for even a lot of kids, it's the first time they're dating, all these types of things. So let's go through just some of the key things that you want to address and want your students to understand in the beginning. Never walk alone at night. And I know a lot of us get very independent. We want to do our study time, the whole bit. We feel like we're safe, we're invincible because we're 18, 19, 20.
Right. And you know, it's important. As I stated, we're in the fourth largest city in the United States. Texas Southern University is in the heart and soul of Houston. And so we have to constantly have this conversation with our students. So we have this particular emergency response app that we share with them called Live Safe. That app is downloaded on their phones. And we safe walk with our students. So as they're walking at night, especially on Scott Street, and as you all know, Scott Street is a large street in the city of Houston. And so we tell them every day, when you're walking, press this app. We walk with them. And so it automatically goes to our dispatch, our police dispatch system, 24 hours a day. If you want to safely walk with the police, we safely walk, we talk with them, everything. So it's been working.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It's
So
been
this
working.
is where technology can
Yes.
actually help us. Okay, carry emergency cash.
Yeah, you know, it's important to have cash with you. A lot of kids don't even, everything is like PayPal or Venmo, but you need cash. If you need to, you know, hail a cab or go into a store or grab something, just always have cash with you. Kids don't think about that anymore, but you need to just have a few dollars in your pocket for emergency needs.
Know where the emergency system areas are on campus.
You know, this is so important. Kids get to campus and they say like, well, where's the cafe? You know, where can I go? Where's the local bar? You know, that's a part of college life, unfortunately. But you've got to know the emergency systems. You never, ever want to be in a situation, it might be rare, but where you're forced to think, how do I get out of this situation, or where can I go for help? It takes one walkthrough, look at one map, read maybe one sheet of paper, but become familiar with where those call centers are.
And speaking of technology, which is something that's so new to a lot of us, but still so old to a newer generation. Like my son's like, when did you never not have a phone you could take with you, right?
I know.
But you know, use that phone, but have emergency numbers in that phone ready to go. Know if you're calling 911 or a certain campus number that you're going to call, but have it don't go digging in your purse. You know, if you find yourself in trouble, have it with you.
And I think it's important too to know who to call. So when you're on a campus university, you may not be calling your local police department, you're calling the campus police department. So it's important for kids to understand, who do I call in case of an emergency, and not have to sit there and search for the number.
Yeah, and that's a good point, is that campuses have their own police departments.
We have our own police department. It's interesting because when people say campus police, they're thinking you're just the campus police, but we actually have 55 uniformed police officers certified in the state of Texas. I was a former officer with the Houston Police Department, so I have brought some others with me, but we're all certified in the state of Texas. And so, yeah, you're talking to real police officers.
And when you get the phone call, you say, I'm at the such and such building, you know where that building building
know exactly
is.
where that building is. What's great about our campus is we have 32 call boxes. Those are the blue boxes that you see on campus. The students can walk up to those boxes, pick up the phone, and it automatically goes to our dispatch. And so we know exactly where they are.
Yeah, okay,
That's
Ronnie, I
really
said
important.
earlier, I said, chances are your child will be safe. You know,
Yes.
the majority of children will be safe. But with that said, there are statistics that we can look at that
Yes.
say this is why you should be concerned.
Yeah, and property crimes lead in terms of the type of crimes taking place on college campuses. Over 50% of crimes are going to be property related. But we also know that there's a great increase in rape and sexual assault, especially amongst girls 18 to 24.
Well, if you think about it, the most highly sexually charged that a population will be
Yes.
is usually at that time.
Yeah.
And they're all away from home.
And they have access. They're away from home. They have access. They're sleeping out on their own, and they're drinking. They're doing drugs. There's a lot of other things that go into it. So we want girls especially to be aware of this, and the rate at which this happens is usually 50% of these sexual assault cases are going to happen August, September, October, November, when you're first semester, excited, everything goes, my first time away from home. So it's important. While a girl is never a victim of a sexual assault, we do have to understand that we need to be proactive in keeping ourselves safe with every decision, every night out.
And even in those situations, I think when sometimes you say rape, what we think of is just kind of that man lurking in the corner,
No.
right? But oftentimes it can be the date rape situation, which is, I think, so many women are, so I went through that myself in college. You're so conflicted because you're like, well, why was I there? You blame yourself, right? I'm like, why was I put myself in that position. But we want girls to understand as much as you can mitigate those circumstances.
Exactly.
We have to do that.
And in colleges, what we're finding is 80% of the sexual assault is taking place. It's occurring by somebody you know and you know well.
Yeah.
So it's not the stranger lurking in the
Right,
back of campus.
Yeah.
It's somebody
you
that
cannot blame yourself.
You can
right?
never
you,
blame
You can
yourself.
try to mitigate the circumstances, but don't blame yourself because no one has a right to do
And
that
let
to
me
you.
just add that it's not just ladies that
Yes.
are being sexually
Oh,
assaulted,
yeah.
males as well. Oftentimes it happens with visitation. You allow your visitors to come inside, so we always tell them, don't prop your doors open. Don't leave your doors open. Don't
Use
leave
your
your doors
locks.
unlocked. Use your locks. We have great grading things that we can, grading instruments that we tell our students to let us grade your names.
Oh,
and
you're
put the
saying,
things
yeah. Oh,
inside there.
engrave. Oh,
Yeah,
engraving.
so we
Yeah,
engrave
yeah.
those things and we put them inside there. But again, don't prop your doors open. Use your locks.
Yeah.
Use your keys.
Yes.
We always tell them to do those things. But again, I just wanted to make sure that we know that it's not just the females that are being sexually assaulted.
Yeah,
It happens
yes.
with males also.
All right, and
so-
whatever happens, report it right
Report
away.
it.
Always
Report
report
it,
it. Always
report it.
report it.